So you've made the briquettes, then what? The really important thing about these briquettes is ensuring they dry properly, making sure you can store them properly. I've designed this storage system so that there is minimal intervention. So once you've picked them up and moved them, that's it. You don't touch them until they're dry. Let's have a look and see if my method suits you. So after I've made the briquettes, they sit stacked up here. I make them similar size to these bits of timber, bit of 3x2, 2x2. So they're about 45mm thick. And they sit here for about between 3 and 5, 7 days, sometimes a bit more. They sit here with weight on them to stop them expanding. You can see on some of these, they've already started expanding after they've been in here. So maybe they needed to be left longer. So if you look at that, look how flaky it is. Whereas if you look at the ones below, with more coffee and more fine dust, they didn't need to sit any longer. They were fine. So once they've sat in here for a few days, I then put them on the shelf here. As you can see, there's 15 there. I do 15 here and I do 15 there. And this rack is divided up so that I can do 30 at a time. So once I've made 30 down there, I then empty 3 shelves and I put the new ones into those shelves. Then they get a date on them. I don't bother with dates anymore. I just go by weeks. And this shows me which ones were on last, which ones were on first. So now I can look at this and go, right, week 37. So that block of 30 there, that's the next load to come out. And they sit here for 3 weeks. So if I do 30 a week, I can go 30, 60, 90, and those, they come out as appropriate. But this rack this way has allowed me to do it on 2 days. So if I make 30 on a Tuesday and then make 30 on a Friday, I can do twice as many. So I can make 60 blocks a week, and in 3 weeks' time, I can remove the dry blocks. There's a reason they're done in 5s. And that's because if you do any other number, it just gets more awkward to work out. But I'd got a student who's special needs student, and we worked it so that by the time you've done 1 or 2 blocks, you're nearly halfway. When you do your 3rd block, you've just gone past halfway. Your 4th block, you're nearly at the end of the row. Then you do your 5th and you've finished that row. Then you put your pieces of wood on top and you start your 2nd row. Again, do 2 or 3 and you've nearly finished that row. So it's a way of encouraging the student and myself to feel like you're moving somewhere, you're getting somewhere with them, you're moving forward. Having 2 separate places to put them, there's a good reason for that. If you go 3, 4, 5 rows high, it's more likely to topple over. You've only got to have 1 or 2 of these a bit thick, and they will make it easier to topple over. So by keeping low centre of gravity, you won't fall over. In the past, I've gone 6 rows and an hour or 2 later, they've been on the floor. So you need to think about how they're drying. You've seen these shelves. If you've seen any other videos, let me just show you how I decant these. So what I do is I put a couple of pieces of wood on the floor. I take the shelf, empty usually, and I move the weight off there, a piece of wood to one side, and these I usually have to put these under like that. In this case they're dry, and I place them on there like so. Yes, I have to, but I do it with 2 hands. So yeah, in this case, because they're dry, I'm just showing you how to do it. You do need a spatula of some type to get underneath. They will want to stick to that surface. If that was painted, that would be better. But also, if it was painted, it wouldn't absorb some of the moisture. These sit and dry out for a few days before I put some more in. So this is what we do. We put them on the rack like that, spread them out. Now spreading them out is important. The more of a space you can leave between them, the less chance you've got of mould. Coffee sometimes goes mouldy. So by leaving a good space between them, the air can get around them. Now they're near a window as well. The reason they're positioned here, let's put these away. There you go. The reason they're put near a window is they get sunlight through here. I can open the window and they can get some more air through. They look attractive. From the outside, they look great. I also have these. If you've seen any of my other videos, I show how to make these with plain shavings. And I use these to start my fire. As you can see, I've got plenty. And I keep reusing them until the cardboard is worn out. And then I put the cardboard in recycling. I've got up here lots of little bits of cardboard with the week on, what week it is, so that I can easily pick them up and tag which week we're working on. I think it looks attractive. It works incredibly well. If I don't need them at home, I can then store them in a box and they will sit in here and I will fold them up and they will stay dry in there. So the other thing I keep an eye on is moisture content. Get a decent moisture meter. This one's great. The lid sits on the bottom when it's not in use. The 2 pointers, they go into the wood or into the shavings there. You can put them straight into there and they'll show you what the moisture content is. So let's have a look, see what's going on. So you switch it on, 0% moisture. If I put it into there, you can press and hold, and at the moment that's 9.7. So the moisture in here is about 9. It's probably less than 9, but because some of these are damp, it's making that moist. Keep them in a decent storage like this, so that when you take them home, they can go in front of the fire, near the fire, they can dry out, and they'll be more efficient burning on the fire that way. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments below. I'll reply to them. And if you can like, share, subscribe, that would be much appreciated. That helps the channel move forward. That helps me with the algorithms. So I hope you like this, and I'll see you in the next one, which is going to be a really good one. Again, on these blocks, not making them, but just something that you might find of interest. Thanks for watching.